I chop up bell pepper and poblano pepper. If I have fresh jalapenos, I put them in as well. However, I always use pickled jalapenos because it gives it just that little bit of a vinegar flavor. And when you're chopping your peppers and handling the pickled jalapenos, wear gloves. Make sure, or else your fingers will be burning all day. All right, we're going to show you the rest of this salsa in just a minute. So what we have here is our canned tomatoes, our onions, our bell pepper, our poblano pepper, and the jalapeno. We're still adding to this. So here's an ingredient that I add to my salsa that a lot of people do not, but I think it's fantastic. And it's green onion. So, or if you're from up north, you know this better as scallion. I think it just adds another depth of flavor to the salsa. And yet, we're still not done. All right, one more ingredient going in here again is garlic. Now, I like to put garlic in, but not too much. So for the 2 cans of tomatoes that I used here, 3 cans actually, I'm putting in 1 large clove of garlic. I just wanted it to be flavoring the salsa. I don't want it to overpower the salsa. We've got our cilantro here now. Let's go ahead and get that added in. Fun fact about cilantro. Maybe you know this already, maybe you don't. Some people love cilantro and some people hate it. But why is that? Well, scientists have found that it's actually a gene that you have in your system that either likes it or doesn't. That's hilarious, right? Okay, next up we're going to get our lime juice and our spices in. All right, let's go ahead and get that lime juice in. Now, usually this is about the time where I start tasting, but I haven't put in any of my spices, and I know this will need salt, it will need cayenne pepper, and it may even take a little bit of cumin. All right, I put in the juice of half a lime, so once I'm tasting, I've reserved the other half of the lime just to see if maybe I need more, if it needs more brightness or lift. Then that's what we would do, is we would add in more lime juice. I don't like a salsa that has overly limed, so we're going to be careful and kind of walk that line. The only way to really know is to taste as you're going. So after I get the spices in, I'll let it sit for a little while, get it into the fridge, and then I'll pull it out, give it a taste. If I need to add more of anything, more lime, more salt, more cayenne pepper, then we will do so. But let me go ahead and get our spices in. All right, how much cayenne pepper do you want to put in? All right, and this depends on, know your audience, right? Who's going to be eating this? Is it people who really like spice, or is it people who just want a hint of spice? So for the recipe, I'm going to say 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne will be more than enough. I'm not going to kill anybody with that, but it's going to have a little kick. And again, after this sits in the fridge for just a little while, then I'll be able to taste it and decide, does it need more? You can always add more, but it's hard to take away. Now, as far as salt goes, let's explain the salt thing. You need a lot of salt for this dish. It is not a dish for people who are watching their sodium intake. I'm going to go ahead and generously salt the salsa. It requires it. And again, I'll taste in a little while and I will decide, does it need a little more salt? Now, the only other thing that I really ever add in here is a little bit of cumin, ground cumin. Gives it just a nice little added flavor. How much am I going to put in? Probably about 1/4 teaspoon. I'm not going to measure. I'm just going to sprinkle. I don't want to put too much cumin in. People sometimes do not like the taste of cumin. So it's a dish that would maybe take an eighth or a quarter of a teaspoon max. All right, our salsa is looking pretty good. I think I'm going to come in and give it a little taste right now, and then we'll get it into the fridge. I'll let you know here in a sec. Let me get a little spoon. Let me get a little tasting spoon, and I can tell you where we're at. I'm just going after the sauce because that's where all the flavor would be, right? Delicious. There's enough kick in that sauce to make you want to come back for another bite on your taco chip or whatever you're going to have this with, which I would highly recommend a taco chip. I can't have it because I'm doing low carb right now. I'm so bummed. But the salsa is amazing, and you could even set this up next to a piece of chicken and you'd really enjoy it. All right, so thanks for watching For the Love of Food.